Hey guys, how's it going? Philip with Trade Genius, and this video I wanted to cover Litecoin. So similar to what we did with Bitcoin, we'll take a look at kind of where we came up from in 2017 and take a look at the technicals going forward. So let's take a look at that. So this is a daily chart on Litecoin, and as you can see, kind of similar to Bitcoin, we had a big kind of parabolic blow-off move. Now this is in dollar terms. We'll also flip it over and take a look at it in Bitcoin terms. But dollar terms wise, kind of ignore this wick here. It's just kind of like a flash crash thing. Not really looking at that for market structure. But we are getting to where, as far as this range here, low to high, we're starting to really test this area. And if we break that, if we get a couple closes outside of this, then what we really need to see hold is a longer term, and I'm going to go back to September because that marked a low. Basically that this whole area here, I would look for this area to hold. Now if we break out of this down below, it brings back this 105 or call it $100 level back into play. And with the thing with Litecoin, guys, is that it's always kind of done that type of move where it'll go up and then it'll kind of just dribble back down to some major support. This dash line was that major support for if we get rid of that large spike up when we start looking at pricing earlier in the year. This looks kind of similar, right, guys? This thing comes up and then kind of just dribble back down, violates all of the fib zones and gets back to support. That's kind of been the market structure for Litecoin. And so, it's not out of the realm of possibility for Litecoin to get back to the $100 level. If it did, I would say back up the truck and load it up, because that's a great opportunity. And I do think it would probably run again and make new highs. So that's one scenario, but I just wanted to show you guys that this has done this type of thing before on a lower scale, obviously, but we ran out, got really parabolic to, not quite parabolic, but up near 100. And honestly, in here I was thinking that this thing was going to do like an Ethereum type run at that point and start really running, and it just didn't happen, and it came back to support, but it always held this trend line higher. So that's what kept things looking pretty promising. Okay, so then we get into this area here, and now then we finally do kind of see that manifestation of that move. Although it went as far as doing a move to where we basically peaked out at, what are we, 420. That move there, that happened so fast. I mean, this is a daily chart, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. Whereas Ethereum, when it grinded from below triple digits up to the $300 to $400 area, where it topped out, that took quite a bit longer. So it's almost like you're just seeing these moves just happen in warp speed now, and part of that is just the amount of volume, I think, that's come into the space. So things have dramatically changed, no doubt, but so what we're looking at now, guys, is basically, we want to see this trend line. We want to see a break of this trend line. So I think once that starts, you see a breakout, one play is you can buy the pullback and then play the move for it to be higher. So, basically what we'd be looking at this point, and this is kind of what I would look at for, like, where's the area that's going to be, we're going to have resistance. So I would say this spot here, change this to a short. Okay, so you're gonna start, and it kind of coincides with some volume buildup that we have here. So this 300 to 320 area, I'd be looking for, if this does break out, it's going to run up to there, probably is going to fight and may back off a little bit, and then I'd be looking for, really, when we push past this level here, this is the 338, 340 level. If we get a nice break above that, then yeah, we're off to the races. So looking a lot, looking very similar to Bitcoin. So Litecoin, if Litecoin's going to travel with Bitcoin, then the ratio may or may not really do much. like it did through here. See, this was such an explosive move that the Litecoin ratio really rocked. And what I mean by that is it's the LTC to BTC ratio, or pair. Litecoin, Bitcoin. Let's do this one here. Okay, so now on this particular one, we're basically consolidating. All right, so essentially you have, we're starting to do one of these things here where it's a, they call this a pennant, right? So it's a consolidation type formation. So the question will be, does Litecoin move? Right now it's looking like it's starting to hold hands with Bitcoin and move as Bitcoin does. So the question is, will it have higher percentage gains in doing so? I think it still has the ability to do that. I would, if we start getting down into where this is starting to dribble lower, I would definitely be really interested in it in this lower range here. You can see there's been a ton of volume down here at this this level here, which is from 0.008 up to 0.00 or 0.011. So this, if this fib zone plays out, so that's basically what that is from the high, came down, retraced, hits the bear fib zone, the extension of that move puts us here. And I would definitely be looking at loading up there, taking some Bitcoin, converting it to Litecoin for a larger move higher at that point. Now, does that happen? Do we get all the way down there? It's hard to say. I mean, obviously Litecoin would have to either come down a bit more. If that $100 level manifests itself again, I think that would be a really killer spot. But I don't know that we're going to get there. I don't. This may more or less consolidate. But basically, if that's the case, then what you're looking for is a breakup and then a pullback and then take it higher. But key here, guys, is going to be 0.02 on the ratio side of things. So as far as Litecoin going forward, I think it's one of those tokens where I think people are going to gravitate toward it because it is a lower cost alternative to Bitcoin. Will it grow more in percentage terms over the course of the year? That I don't think. I think Bitcoin has more in percentage terms to the upside. Will Litecoin see $1,000 next year? I think that it's possible, yeah. I think also the thing with Litecoin is that, since it does play with the Lightning Network, those are the type of coins that I'd probably be looking at as far as longer term plays, things that have the longer legs. And, that's going to play a part in, the longevity of the coin. Because, a lot other altcoins aren't going to be around for, some may not even make it through the end of 2018. A lot of them won't make it through the end of 2019. So you got to have a pretty good use case. I think Litecoin does have a use case. It does have the exposure, being on one of the larger exchanges, and they are working on other payment channel and payment applications for e-commerce type things. So it does have that going for it. So it's definitely not something you would dismiss. So as it stands right now, it's a viable investment, and I think that you're going to definitely see some appreciation, definitely in dollar terms next year for sure. But we like to kind of focus on things in as compared to Bitcoin, because it is the big dog, and everything's kind of revolves around that. So there you have it. That's kind of the outlook on Litecoin right now. Basically looking at it holding, I think the probabilities are that it holds the fib zone in the dollar terms here. I think that's probably the most highest probability case. Holds this zone, and then really you want to see a break of this trend line, and then boom, off to the races. If you look as far as the 4-hour chart goes, our crypto indicator, if you guys want this, you can head over to Trade Genius Academy. We got a special going for another day. You guys can pick up that indicator there. But it signaled an exit, and they're usually pretty spot on when those exit signals fire. You want to get out of the way, or definitely be on your toes. Get your stops moved up, because those things can really generally signal a period of either chop or a pullback. So, you know, once we see another, I think once then we get another long signal fired. This one fired, but you pretty much got stopped out on that trade as far as trying to get a move up. Or definitely if you were trying to hold longer and you added there, this definitely was a heads up to probably bail. I think once you see the next long signal, though, it's probably on the 4 hours, probably a good, especially if it's coinciding with a break above this, that'll probably pave the way for this run up here to the 300, 320 area. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and if you have any questions, leave them below. Hit that subscribe button if this helps, and it helps us keep these videos coming. Alright guys, until the next video, take care. Bye.